All right. Good morning. I am Clay Douglas. I am the Free American. And my guest today is supposed to be Mike Fry. He's been sick, so that's what happened the last time that we were supposed to have him on. And he may or may not call in. I've left a message with him. Certainly knows about the show. And I'm thinking of changing. I'll take some opinions on this. I'm thinking of putting this next little piece here into in place of my theme song here. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just figure out how to play it sometime in the show, but I thought I'd let you hear it, give you a preview of it, and get your opinions. And you can download it and put it on your site by going to my site and simply playing it. Theme, a commercial. It's an audio commercial, all right?
He took an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States of America. By some, he's been called controversial.
I'll keep my freedom, I'll keep my guns, try to keep my money and my religion too.
Now, keep in mind that some of my guests have been approached by Homeland Security or FBI saying, why are you going on the Clay Douglas show?
My message to those guys, if they're listening this morning, is go get a cup of coffee. Maybe you'll learn something.
We both took the same oath, to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I don't recall there being an expiration date on that.
I'm going to keep my big B8, keep my friends the same, keep the government out of my business, and y'all can keep the change.
He is the Free American, Clay Douglas.
We know what we need. We know who to blame.
Catch the Free American Hour, weekdays at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern.
I'll keep the USA and y'all can keep the change.
For the podcast and more details, visit www.freeamerican.com or catch the podcast by phone by calling 832-999-8621.
All right. Yeah, that's a commercial that we're putting up. And folks, we're going to be trying to do something. Mike Fry is working on the committees of safety restored in Arizona. And he's also a member of the Oath Keepers, and the Oath Keepers are working on things too. You wanted to know what the Oath Keepers are doing? Okay, I could do that. I could tell you about that. And I think I'll do that. Let me see here. We'll go over... I want to bring you up something. Christmas is coming up, and this is the second Christmas that my friend Roger Christie will spend in jail. As a minister of Helos THC Ministers, Roger Christie's preferred sacrament and contains tetrahydrocannabinol, the main psychoactive substance in marijuana, but is inmate number 992799022 of the Federal Detention Center in Honolulu. Christie has not had access to his sacred right in 17 months. Arrested on July 8th, 2010 and denied bail after being on my radio show, Roger Christie, 62, is set to spend his second Christmas in jail. 13 co-defendants, including Christie's fiancée, Sherry Ann St. Cyr, were allowed to post bond, but Christie was deemed by authorities to be a danger to the community. No one will say why the Big Island pot minister who operated openly for 10 years is now so dangerous he can't be allowed home pending trial. And no one involved with the case would speak to Civil Beat in Honolulu about Christie, the assistant U.S. attorney prosecuting the case, Christie's own federal defender, and even the U.S. Attorney General herself refused to respond to repeated efforts to contact them via phone, email, and even a trip to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Now think about this, folks. Yeah, Roger Christie is promoting THC. He based this whole thing, this whole church, on his First Amendment right. This is a religion to those of us that have used it for many, many, many years. My son joined this church, and this is how I came to it. But what is happening to Roger, what has happened to me in their attempts to kill me, and what has happened to my friend Edgar Steele, who's now in prison, going to spend the rest of his life in prison, and didn't do a damn thing, and neither did Roger Christie. So they are being, they have already implemented this. When they killed Bill Cooper, when they tried to kill me back in 2004, killed Bill Cooper in 2001, this is what they did. This is what they did. And they're doing exactly what they're telling you they're going to do. And they probably used the military. They could have used the CIA. They could be using federal agents, just as were involved in Waco, just as involved with Ruby Ridge. And folks, I have been telling you for years that we're in a battle here. We're in a battle, a real battle. Now, let me see if I can do this. The Oath Keepers. I mentioned that. Mike was supposed to be on my show today. Maybe I should try him one more time. Let's see if we can get him up. I'd rather prefer to hear it from firsthand from the originator of this. It's quite possible he is just busy. Or
Hello, leave a message, and I'll return your call. Thank you.
To leave a voice message, press 1, or just wait for the tone. To send a numeric page, press 2 now. You are calling from 520-413-2397. To send this as your numeric page, press 1. To enter a different number, press 2. To cancel, press star. You are calling from 520-413-2397. To send this as your new...
something's obviously wrong there, but let's do this. What? Hang on a minute here. What have we done here? I lost all of them. Okay.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
And I'll return your call. Thank you.
Welcome to Talk Show. Please enter the call ID followed by the pound key. Enter your PIN followed by the pound key. If you are not... You are now joining the call.
Recorded live.
All right.
You are unmuted.
All right. We're back on that. Let's make sure everything's working all right here. And Yes, everything is still on here. Okay, on that. Now let's let me go back over here, and okay, where are we here? Isn't it strange, folks? We're trying to get everything working here. And just blog tag, is that working? What have we done here? Okay, everything's still on there. Everything's still on everywhere, I guess. Computers running slow. Guests aren't answering the phone today. Bunch of, well, they don't want this information getting out. What's happened here? The Oath Keepers is getting involved. Other people are getting involved. We're uniting some of the patriot groups. Trying to, folks. It's why is this? Everything's just dead here. I don't know. It's possible that Mike Fry was blocked somehow, not able to receive my calls. Everything is locked up here for the moment, but okay. Hold on.
Everyone complains about medication, reprobation, toleration, radiation, vaccination, deportation, provocation, medication, transportation, population, subjugation, publication, and power control communication. Free of our freedom, liberate our liberty. 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 Bring back our freedom, liberate our liberty. Bring back our freedom, liberate our liberty. We're taking back our freedom and liberating liberty.
All right. I promised you something about the Oath Keepers. Operation Sleeping Giant. And that comes from Admiral Sokoyu Yamamoto after attacking Pearl Harbor. I fear all we have done is to awaken a sleeping giant and fill him with a terrible resolve. The graphics that they've got on their site, and it's linked. This is all linked on there. It says the U.S. Constitution is still sitting right there off the stern. She's still seaworthy, able to weather any storm. We need to jump off this weak fiat imitation of a system we've been conned into sailing for nearly 100 years and get back on board with our Constitution. The U.S. economic Titanic has already hit the economic iceberg and is sinking. Arguing over who should be the next captain is not going to save us. Even if we replace the entire leadership staff by firing all of Congress, that won't save us. Those who served in the infantry know the old saying, embrace the suck, which means to accept the reality and deal with it. Well, we need to accept the reality that an economic collapse is coming, embrace the suck, and deal with it. As Patrick Henry said, it is better to know the worst and provide for it rather than to delude ourselves with false hopes. Frankly, we should be glad it's coming on our watch so that we can clean up the mess we've allowed to happen rather than leaving it to our children and grandchildren to fix it. As Thomas Paine said, there must be trouble. If there must be trouble, let it be in my day that my child may have peace. Exactly. This is our watch, so let's get it done so our children and grandchildren may have peace and freedom. So, knowing that the ship is sinking, what do we do? Do we sit on our butts and wail and cry about what's coming while waiting around to hit the icy water? Do we jump into the lifeboats and wallow around waiting to be rescued? That's what the globalist elites want us to do. When the Federal Reserve created fiat money system collapses, when the ship sinks, they will then try to then rescue us by sweeping us all on board the USS Global Leviathan, their final solution of a worldwide version of the Fed out of the IMF, along with world governments. That's been their plan all along, con us into sailing an unseaworthy fiat hulk, sail it into an iceberg, and then rescue us into their massive prison ship. You think getting rid of the Federal Reserve is tough? Just wait until you're under a world Federal Reserve. So what do we do? The USS Constitution is still sitting right there off the stern. She's still seaworthy, able to weather any storm. We need to jump off this weak imitation system we've been conned into sailing for nearly 100 years. Get back on board with our Constitution. We have neglected her. The supposed leaders have forsaken her. But we, the crew, us oath-sworn veterans, and we, the people, who are the real owners, can still sail her if we realize she's there just waiting for us. So let's patch the scales, plug any leaks, man our battle stations, and get old Ironsides ready to give the U.N.N. Global Leviathan a long due royal ass kicking. Then let's get back into the Liberty waters on board the Constitutional Republic built by the blood and sweat of our forefathers. The answer to globalist plans. That's exactly why the Oath Keepers launched Operation Sleeping Giant. SleepingGiant.org. It's on my show, and it's going to be, because now I didn't write these words, and the man that probably did pen this, the man that started Oath Keepers, happens to be Stuart Rhodes, happens to be Jewish. So what? So what? We can sit back and argue with each other, and that's why on my last series of guests, Gary Hunt was on my show. You can hear the show that we did. He's put together the Patriots Committee, and that's linked on my site too. I'm a member. So the Patriots need to resolve all the differences. You, as a patriot, if you've got a patriot, if Alex Jones I am the link. The Free American is doing exactly what I put it together for. It's doing exactly what I put it together for. It's bringing patriots like Mike Fry, like God, everybody. I've had everybody on here from Randy Weaver to the people that were almost killed in the Branch Davidians. Come on, folks. I've been telling both stories, and I've been telling you, that we need to work together. We got to work together. I don't hate Jews. I admire them, man. But this is our competition out there. It's a competing religion from Christianity, and I'm not advocating I'm telling you, this country was founded on Christian principles. I like the principles. I don't like the churches. I don't like the control. And I damn sure don't like sending our money to support another country that has a different religion, whether it's a Muslim or a Jew. And what they try to do, oh, Clay's a racist because he asked me if I was Jewish. Oh. Come on, folks. This is all psychological warfare, and they don't want you asking. These are the useful idiots. Oh, you shouldn't talk about Jews. You shouldn't talk about pot. You shouldn't talk about freedom and liberty. You shouldn't have the Constitution on your dashboard. You shouldn't have it where you can look at it at any time. You shouldn't have that. Why that you could be a terrorist. That's what they're trying to do. And the Stuart Rhodes and Oath Keepers is telling you that. And he says, and I agree with this, that we're all in this together, whether or not we are veterans, but the veterans of this nation have a critical role to play, Stuart Rhodes says. Each of us who served are still bound by our oaths to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and we must acknowledge that it has been because of our neglect of our duties, because of our negligence, that our nation has come to this. So we veterans have a duty to right this wrong. We have the training and the leadership it takes to help get our people in resisting the dark plans of the global elites and getting back to liberty. Together we can defeat them and destroy and restore our republic. So they have Oath Keepers has initiated Operation Sleeping Giant. Americans, veterans truly are like a sleeping giant. It's time to awaken them and fill them with a terrible resolve to defeat the domestic enemies of our Constitution and their globalist fellow travelers. If we wake the veterans up, the republic will be saved. If we don't, then I fear this republic will fall. If we can't get the veterans to step up and do what must be done to save our republic, then how can we expect the rest of our people to do what must be done? So let's wake them up. And they can help us wake up the whole country so that they can take the lead in restoring the republic and resisting the plans of the enemy. Now, folks, this is exactly what I put together for Sheriff Deaver down in Cochise County. This is exactly what I put together for him. Because he's trying to do something. He's trying to stop the illegals. It's more than that. The marijuana is tied right into this. This is why I'm the only one out there that's giving you all of the information. Here's what the Oath Keepers are saying. Here's what's happening to Roger Christie. Here's what's happening to Edgar Steele. Here's what's happening to anybody that's standing up for the Constitution. And here's what they tried to do to me. They tried to kill me. They tried to get me committed. They tried to get... Oh, do you know why you're here, Mr. Douglas? Well, you're here so I can determine if you're competent. See, that's why I don't understand, Doc. Of course I'm fucking competent. Now, folks, yeah, oh, Clay, you just should use that language. Fuck you. I am a biker. I am a veteran. I am an Oath Keeper. I am a patriot. And I am a good businessman. And I am a good writer. Now, I need your support. I need you out there to order some books and make a donation. Send me an email. Show me that there's somebody that isn't brain dead out there, and then we can and then we can all work together. You can play this commercial on your radio stations. You can pull it right off of my radio station. And matter of fact, I think I can do that fairly easily here. I can just share that with you. And somebody, here's one of the things that one of the problems that I have personally is how do you promote yourself without coming off like a, conceited asshole. Well, so I need input. I need help. I need somebody to refer. I look for input. I've got my mail-in address and my phone numbers and everything up on the site. We could work together. I've got a lot of connections, got a lot of resources, know a lot of things, met a lot of people, and wrote some really good damn books that they're afraid to handle. They don't want to handle, and news media don't want you to know about it. But you could be doing this.
He took an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States of America. By some, he's been called controversial.
I'll keep my freedom. I'll keep my guns. Try to keep my money and my religion too.
Now, keep in mind that some of my guests have been approached by, Homeland Security or FBI saying, why are you going on the Clay Douglas show?
My message to those guys, if they're listening this morning, is go get a cup of coffee. Maybe you'll learn something.
We both took the same oath, to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I don't recall there being an expiration date on that.
I'm gonna keep my big VA, keep my friends the same, keep the government out of my business, and y'all can keep the change.
He is the free American, Clay Douglas.
We know what we need, we know who to blame.
Catch the Free American Hour, weekdays at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern.
I'll keep the USA and y'all can keep the change.
For the podcast and more details, visit www.freeamerican.com or catch the podcast by phone by calling 832-999-8621.
All right. Now, for you assholes in the room there, Nick JG, yeah, I got hospital records, I got the accident reports, I got the hospital records here, I got all the drugs they gave on me here, and nobody's been prosecuted because the woman that hit me disappeared. She was driving a borrowed car. It happened right after I called home and my son gave me directions on where I was supposed to be going. And the whole thing is written in my book, and I've been writing for 40 fucking years, and I've never lied, I've never done anything, I've never been sued for libel or slander. It was a murder attempt by somebody that was able to tap all of our cell phones, like George Bush. Again, that story broke about them tapping the cell phones. Well, two guys show up in the hospital. Yeah, fuck it. Never mind. You can read it in my book. You can read it in my book, you dumb shit. You buy the book, you cheap motherfuckers. There we go. Okay. Back to the oath. Well, wait a minute. Let me translate. Let me go over here.